Sojola here. In this particular video, we'll be looking at a cryptocurrency, right, that is found on a crypto paper that was released by the World Economic Forum in June of 2021. This cryptocurrency is known as Stellar Lumens or XLM, right? Now, when we look at stellar lumens, we'll first look at stellar. When we speak of stellar, we fundamentally speaking of the network, right? And when we speak of a lumens, right, we are fundamentally speaking of the native token which operates within the stellar network known as XLM, right? It is a layer 1 blockchain, right? Now, when we look at the stellar network is fundamentally an open source platform, right, that allows a wide range of applications to be built on it. For example, you can issue digital assets which are pegged to real life assets or real world assets. Number two, you can connect individuals, particularly from lower income countries or developing countries, right, that don't have bank accounts, right? Number three, you can set up an address and wallets, right? You can also set up a node. Now, when we look at the purpose of the stellar network, it is fundamentally to connect individuals that don't have bank accounts to financial institutions and to payment systems, right? Stellar fundamentally works like PayPal, but with no need of a bank account, right? Now, when we look at the stellar network, it was fundamentally designed for faster, cheaper, and more secure international payments, right? In regards to cross-border transactions, right? So it is fundamentally created to be faster and cheaper and more secure when it comes to international cross-border payments, right? Now, Stellar Lumens is fundamentally one of two tokens or one of two cryptocurrencies that have been recognized by the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, right, and the World Bank, right? It's also part of the standard body of a regulatory body known as ISO 20022, right? The transaction per second of stellar lumens started off at about 50 transactions per second. And then it started moving into various milestones. The first milestone they reached was 1,000 transactions per second, right? And then they moved to 5,000 transactions per second. But now they've been working on a layer 2, right, solution to basically put the transaction per second or the speed of or the scalability of the network to that over hundreds of thousands of transactions per second. Now, the Stellar Consensus Protocol is basically an open network that anybody can participate in by connecting a node and running it and basically becoming a validator, right? Now, what the Stellar Consensus Protocol achieves is firstly a decentralized control, right? It achieves low latency, right? It achieves something known as flexible trust, right? And it achieves great security. The network is quite secure. The protocol is quite secure, right? Now, how exactly it works is that number one, a node chooses any other node that it fundamentally trusts, right? And then these nodes form a subgroup, right, which come to something known as a quorum slice. Now, when you have this quorum slice and you find these nodes interact together, right, to a point of them interacting via a mutual node, right, they come to a point where they form a quorum, right? When they form a quorum, the consensus is reached within the network, right? And a transaction is validated. And lastly, when you upload funds onto the network, they fundamentally go to a anchor, something known as an anchor, which is located within the Stellar network, right? These can be banks or financial institutions or places of remittance, right? Now, when you send your funds to an anchor, right, then the stellar consensus protocol or consensus mechanism kicks in such a way as the network functions in an efficient manner, right? Now, Stellar Lumens basically has a partnership with MoneyGram, has a partnership with Deloitte, has a partnership with IBM, right? And yeah, it's basically that is Stellar Lumens. Thank you for the opportunity. I'll see you in the next video. How the fund flows is that you take your funds and they are converted into the token known as XLM, lumens, right? And then these lumens actually work within the network known as the Stellar network.